everybody. Happy Friday to you. It's Friday, May 24th, 2024. I got that 2424 happening there in the numbers today. I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm super excited to be here with you for another episode of The Breakthrough Show. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm thrilled because we have an amazing guest for you today. She is a visionary dedicated to guiding individuals in reconnecting with love to awaken their inner wisdom and divine spark. As a sacred teacher, cosmic channel, and embodiment coach, she has touched countless lives by helping people navigate these rapidly changing times. Boy, that's the understatement of the year. Manifest their deepest desires and fulfill their true purpose, fueled by love. She's also a two-time international best-selling author, the founder of the Flower of Love lineage, which we're going to learn about on the show today, and the host of the Soul Love podcast, which I was very honored to be a guest on fairly recently. It's an honor to have her on the show today. So without further ado, let's welcome Kim Van de Sande to the show. Kim, welcome. So excited to have you on the show today.
Yes, me too. I'm very excited to share this conversation with you and everyone tuning in. So thank you for having me.
I love it. And you were on Project Joy Live fairly recently, yes, which I love to do that because we kind of get a little taste of our guests on the morning show. And then it's like, we leave everybody wanting more. We probably could have talked another 2.5 at least hours. It's nice to be able to continue that conversation with you today.
It really is, yes.
Well, let everybody know, Kim, where are you joining us from if they didn't catch Project Joy Live? And also, what does that word breakthrough mean to you?
Oh, I'm joining from the Netherlands, so across the pond, as you always say. So here it's a beautiful evening as we're recording this. And for me, a breakthrough, like now in my current understanding, I see like this whole energy field that opens up and we get to expand into a greater version of ourselves. But the breakthrough through all my journey, and I will share a little bit later, but in the end, it's about us opening up to a greater awareness of who we are and opening up to a deeper understanding of our truth and our light and our love. And that keeps on expanding every day. So it is almost like if you would see like the dark clouds, they open up and there's sunlight. For me, that's the breakthrough. And that can happen in many, many different forms. It can be an aha moment when we suddenly see a greater picture coming together. But it's also in my own journey of healing and coming through burnout and all of that. It's stepping into this greater version of, okay, this is who I am. And I'm no longer accepting that version. And I'm ready to grow and I'm ready to learn more and surrender to love. For me, it was really a deep surrender to love. And in that, beautiful things open up. But the breakthrough is, it's almost like cracking open like an egg. I always love to, like in words, but there's such a bigger energy beyond that is really it's like also this body sensation, like, okay, a breakthrough, it's really allowing almost like this jacket to fall off you, like this thing that was not you, this layer of illusion and things that we have taken as our truth. And it's really letting that fall away.
I love it. And I think, as you describe it, I really appreciate how you describe it as sort, you said the word awakening before, and then talk about, this kind of shedding of layers, so to speak. And I think sometimes this is a great thing to think about because sometimes we think that the breakthroughs, are external, that there are things that come into our awareness, or, that it's this something from outside of us that's happening. And I love the idea that the things are there and it's just a matter of tapping into them, and that's, breaking through to that outer layer of what's there to go really within. So I love that analogy because the breakthroughs don't have to come from outside of us. Yes, sometimes those things can be a great catalyst for, shedding those outer layers, but it's all there within you. I love that message.
Yeah, and I think as you shared as well, I love then to go a little bit deeper into that, because it's really like, as you shared, I saw this image of an egg. And if you have a baby bird in this egg, you don't go and peel it open from the outside. No, the bird needs to do it itself, and then it can grow and expand. But that's the same for us. Like I also have pivotal moments in my life that I will share later that were big breakthroughs, or in a way my soul asking me and knocking on my door and saying, okay, Kim, it's time. But the answer was within. It was an outside thing that reminded me. But in the end, the breakthrough happened when I was ready to shine my light from within and crack open all these layers that were not me, just like a baby egg or a baby bird in this eggshell.
Yeah.
Like you don't go force it from the outside, because then the baby is not ready. And that's the same with us. And it is
Yeah.
our inner light that can crack open all these shells from within. But it's not something like, so it's really a deep remembering of our power and of our truth and of everything that we carry within us. But it's an unlearning into the depths of our being. Yeah.
Yeah, and the baby comes when it's ready. I mean, so you're a mom, and I'm also a mom, and I think about those times when I was pregnant, and we're like, at the end, we're done being pregnant.
I had two girls that were 42 weeks plus, so they came on their own, but it was a one time.
Exactly. And so like I'm thinking about that with myself too. So my earlier children all were, I was induced and I was really having a hard time with my body, and there was a lot going on, and there was always like some kind of drama though associated with that birth, because we pushed it instead of just allowing it to happen. Then my last baby, she was 42 weeks, like just, okay, she came on her sister's birthday. She was trying to be a gift. And so like, it was easy. Yeah. It was just simple because we just allowed it instead of trying to push something that wasn't meant to happen. So I think about that, that breakthrough is like, could be a sense of allowing as well. Just
trusting in the greater unfolding of, but that's the most hard part, because then we need to let go of what the mind wants. And that's also in my journey what I noticed, like we have such a strong vision or such a strong thing about how our future needs to look like, or when we set a goal, it needs to happen in this way and it needs to happen in these steps and then I will reach it. No, sometimes our soul and our higher selves have such amazing things in plan for us, but it's something we haven't yet experienced yet. And then we try to keep on to the limited version of the mind. And it needs to happen this way, instead of us letting go and letting the universe lead us. And then suddenly we channel a book in 20 hours, or there's a card deck in a weekend, but it is like beyond what we thought was possible before. But again, the power comes from within, and it's not like the baby's ready whenever it comes, and then it comes with just such a flow and ease and beauty and magic. And this is in every area of your life, but that is also the most hard part, because then we need to let go of the control, and we need to let go of the vision and the ideas. And I think that is the biggest breakthrough. Can you really be in your heart and allow your soul and your heart to lead, instead of the mind trying to hold on to the picture of what you already experienced, because we're all here to experience something new. So then we constantly need these breakthroughs to crack open all these shells. So we can see the light and the beautiful
letting go of control. That could be a whole other
Yes.
Whole other program. Miss Brittany's out there joining us. Happy Friday to you. Two beautiful souls up there. I received that, Miss Brittany. Thank you so much. Miss Kat is joining us also from across the pond. Kat's in Scotland. So good to see you, Kat. Happy Friday to you. So glad you ladies are joining us for this conversation today. So what we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to take a really quick break, and we're going to come back and we're going to dive into Kim's story a little bit. And she's going to share about the flower of love and what the lineage is and all of we're going to have major breakthroughs today. So I hope you brought your pen and paper, and we'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to the Breakthrough Show. We're so excited that you're with us today for another amazing episode. We're here with Kim van de Sande from the Netherlands, across the pond, as we say here. And we're going to dive in a little bit to Kim's story. We heard about what breakthroughs mean to her before the breaks. And I'm really excited that we get to dive into a little bit of her story, because that's something we didn't get to do when she was on Project Joy Live. So where I'd like to start, Kim, is to have you share how you came into, we'll call it swimming in the woo pool. Have you always been a super spiritual person? Tell me a little bit about the history of Kim.
Yeah. Well, I think for most of us, when I was a child, I had different visions, and I noticed that I was different than others. I was very energetic, and I had a very deep connection with nature and just this inner knowing sometimes, or the visions that I had. But I also noticed that because I was different, I sometimes didn't have a lot of friends, or people didn't really understand me. So at one point, to just really, to be part of the group, I started to adjust myself, and I started to change, and I started to copy the ways others were reacting or responding. I had a very high, how do you say, very high, what is right and not right, but I saw a lot of things happening, and I thought, okay, everyone is just doing certain things, and why am I so holding on to these high values and to these high? So at one point, you just start to copy others to be part of the group, or you start to people please and that is just and this is a much long time frame, but for me, that was really a journey of going away from who I was and forgetting my true light and dimming my energy, and to just be liked and be part of the group. And there have been many moments in my life where just I think my soul knocked on my door. My father, but my father died when I was 8. It was very young, but it really opened me to a deeper understanding of life. It opened me to something like a yearning for something more, because I suddenly noticed okay, I'm even more different than the girls or the boys of my age, because they were, for me, very in the energy of, okay, they were playful, and I was thinking of death and life and all of these greater questions that arose when that happened. And it opened me on this journey of searching. So it's really this deep searching that kept me okay, but it was always searching out there. So I was searching for a deeper meaning for life. I was searching for, okay, what is there more than what I can understand? What is there more than, and why am I here? There was also a big question, okay, what am I doing here? This world, you see these dynamics, and you see how people respond to each other, and sometimes the anger and all the things that are happening. And why isn't there more love? Because that is my truth. And I in a way, I kept on to that, just like everyone else. In yourself that there's something greater possible, but why do we still see all of the things that are happening in the world? And for me, another pivotal moment and really a breakthrough moment was when I had a burnout. It was many years later, but it was my soul that kept me to a halt and said, okay, now you need to listen and you need to sit down. And for me, that was a huge shifting moment, and I really shifted a lot of dynamics where I was overgiving, and I was shifting a lot of dynamics where I was people pleasing, and where I was, but it's this journey of, okay, trial and error. But what I noticed in my own journey is the moment I felt better again, I also started to do old patterns come back, because that is a natural thing. Sometimes we are so programmed for many years. That is our surviving mechanism. So the moment then when I felt better again, I didn't need that anymore. And suddenly all these old programs came back. And that's just a subtle thing that happens because I didn't shift it from the root. And for me, that was an important thing. In the time of my burnout, I healed a lot of things, and I came to a deep understanding of who I am, but it was still on the surface layer, and I was still searching okay, for another thing outside there, or a solution there, or maybe a quick fix there, or because I wanted to feel better and I wanted to be energized again. And I think for a lot of people also I get to guide now, sometimes it's okay, sometimes we think, okay, I step in this journey of healing and tomorrow it will be better, or next week it will be huge. but it's this ongoing journey, because we also,
Mm.
it's understanding, like I think I was 25 or so, but it's understanding that for 25 years I already had this programming, or I had already had this
Right.
mechanism took me in that surviving mode, and you need to unlearn. So 25 years of that, and sometimes
Right.
it's good, but there are also moments where you just fall into your old program, and that is fine, because that is what I notice now. It's not about judging that we do that. It's again becoming aware and then choosing a different direction, because that's the whole journey. It's not about, okay, the moment you're aware and the moment the breakthrough has been there, that you always need to go in that line. No, you learn and you grow. So for
Right.
me, a couple of years later, I just went in my normal routine. Suddenly, it all cycled back into what I was doing, and I was still searching for greater meaning, a deeper fulfillment in life. And then I became a mom, and that was for me like this deep moment of, okay, like I saw my own life, and suddenly I had these two beautiful,
Mm.
and I was thinking like, okay, they speak energy, so I can say, follow your heart and do what your heart truly wants, and stay your true self, and never let your light dim. Or yes, be enthusiastic, be cry, scream, whatever you want, let all your emotions out. But if I don't do that, like they know, like I can say follow,
Yeah.
if I'm not doing it, they understand the energy behind my words. So I really started to understand that I needed to lead with example. So for me, that was a huge breakthrough moment, because I also understood, like sometimes, like there is the knowledge that we know with our minds, like I knew perfectly what I needed to do, and the patterns that I needed to break. But there's a different thing in doing it, in living it, in embodying it in every cell of your body, or just having the knowledge. Like we can read millions of books, and that is beautiful. But in the end, like if we really want change, it means that we embody that knowledge that we know also when we're doing the dishes, or
Yeah.
when girls are awake every night and we need to wake up in like to be there for them instead of in the old way. Or so it's like this deeper understanding within me that came, this deeper searching, like, okay, but how do I do that? How do I not only
Mm.
think about what I know with my mind, but how do I speak with my energy, with my body, with my field? And then for me now, I see it as a blessing. But a couple of years later, like I got diagnosed with chronic Lyme, and for me that was a moment where I couldn't do anything anymore. So I think my
Mm.
couple of years old, and it was really in this moment where my body just said a halt. So for almost a half,
Wow.
I was just laying at bed, and there was stillness. There was nothing, like my world around has crumbled down, and in that moment it's painful, and it's alone, and you feel like, okay, what is going to happen? And but now I see that was my biggest blessing, because it cracked all these layers open. It was almost my soul that said, okay, if you keep running, there will be a moment where you are being put to halt. And it doesn't mean that it will always happen. But for me, like I'm all about experience. So I learn through experiences. So people can say to me like, okay, maybe you should do this better, but still I will learn through the experience, through trial and error and all of that. And for me, that was a moment where I was really brought to my own stillness, through my own voice again, through my,
Mm.
and I really had this because, especially because I had my girls, I didn't want that for them. I wanted them to have a mom that goes later to bed than them. I wanted to see them grow up, and I wanted to have energy and to do fun, playful things with them. So that for me was really this deep desire that grew in that moment. Like, okay, I want health. I want to be energized. I want health. I want radiance. I want to be the example of living from your heart, and not from only knowing, or not from only living from the outside world. Or so that was for me such a huge turning point. And in that stillness, I reconnected to this deeper part within me. What I now understand is the flower of love lineage. But it's really in sometimes in the most traumatic experiences, we are brought back to our purest self. And when we nurture that, and it doesn't mean like it's one way, okay, I remember and then it's going up. No, it's a daily commitment. But when we nurture that, it opens up in beautiful ways. And that was it for me, when I allowed that light to shine from inside out. So
Mm.
beautiful people, beautiful books, beautiful new awarenesses came up, beautiful breakthroughs, but those were like tiny breakthroughs every day. But if you
Yeah.
in a couple of months look back to all these tiny breakthroughs, like, okay, oh wow, I had a whole day of not doing a nap, or I have a whole day of just feeling good and having energy, and I have a whole day of playing with my girls. What a gift. But sometimes we take these
Yeah.
things for granted, but they are so important. I have a day where I can just go outside and enjoy the sunlight and all of that. It's also coming to this awareness how, for me as well, I took everything I could do just for granted, like walking, driving, all like having
Yes.
just go wherever you want to go and all of that. So suddenly you see the world as a gift. I saw every moment as a blessing, every like enjoying my cup of tea, but those are the true blessings in life. And in that, beautiful things unfolded, in that the whole journey. So for me, it was choosing me and choosing to let my light shine through, and choosing to be healthy again, that opened this. There was the baby egg that was in the cocoon, and it was really saying like, okay, now it's time. But it was, for me, the biggest breakthrough, I think, was me choosing like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm repeating the old patterns. I don't want to be in this space where the doctor said I could only go this, and I didn't accept it. So I changed my diet, I changed my way of thinking, I did energy work, and I really went deeper constantly within myself, within the most uncomfortable emotions. Because for me, like, our body is constantly giving us messages. But most of the time we find it very inconvenient, or we don't have time, or it is too painful, or we just want to be happy and do our thing, or there are so many things that we need to do that we don't take time to listen to the messages of our body. And I didn't listen for many, many years, until my body just gave this loud scream like, okay, now you're gonna listen. But then suddenly you get to know, like, okay, now I also know when my body is giving me a signal. It's a communication of my soul trying to tell something. And it's me honoring those emotions, honoring those feelings, honoring those sensations. And in that, you get this into this subtle communion with who you are. But that is the most natural thing. Because like when I was a child, I could communicate with nature, but also with the nature of my body. It's just a bit like, again, a baby. Somehow that's the theme of today.
That's the theme today.
Yes. But it's in this pure energy. It doesn't have a mind yet that rationalizes or that labels something as good or bad or starts judging itself, or no, it just expresses its light. And in that, it's taken care of or loved, but it's understanding, it's coming back to this rawness of who we are. And in this rawness of who we are, we suddenly know, like, when our body is giving us a certain ache, or there's something that wants to be shared, when we feel an emotion, to allow it to be expressed. I had so many dimmed emotions. But at one point, the emotions want to go somewhere. So if I dim a certain emotion for 10 years, imagine what the buildup of energy would be in my body, in my field. And when you then go within, you suddenly notice, like, okay, they needed an outlet, and that can be sometimes intense. And then the power of love comes in to hold space. And for me, it was so beautiful that in this dark moment, really my deeper connection to love came, and the whole lineage holding space for me each time I had a breakthrough moment. Each time I needed to go beyond what I thought was possible. Because for me, the journey of breakthroughs is also like every one of us, we're daily being invited to grow and expand into our next level. But what I really come to understand now is a journey of growth is also a journey of letting go. It's the cycle. Like when we need to step into our next level, it means that everything that is currently preventing us from already being in that next level will show up. And sometimes it's just letting go of a limiting belief, but sometimes it shows up as a trigger or someone that is it's challenging us. But it's an invitation to connect with a deeper layer of ourselves so that we can step into this next level. But when we can surrender to that process with love, we suddenly notice when we get triggered or when we get activated, like, okay, I'm on this road. Because that was for me a big awareness as well. Like sometimes we can feel, like I said, 1 step forward and then 3 steps back. But it's not. It is because you're choosing to grow. All of these things, all your bleep shows up. But that is good, because now they're suddenly in your awareness, and you can see them, and you can notice them. You can become aware of them. You can hold space for the wounded part in yourself. You can hold space for your inner child that wants to be seen, that wants to be acknowledged. And when you do that, so much energy opens up. And that was for me when I was a little girl. It's almost like, okay, I had a lot of energy, but I contracted it for so many years. But it was just this buildup. And when you let it go, it just frees up. And suddenly you are deeper connected with your inner wisdom, with your higher self. And beautiful things unfold from that. But it's you no longer being afraid of the light and the power that is within you, but also the power of your emotions and your body. I can talk ages of this.
I think it's only taken us until 7 seasons in to realize I should have called it the Breaking Through Network instead of the Breakthrough Show Network, because it's really it's listening to your story. It's really a series of things. It's a mosaic of things that makes us who we are in any given moment that have happened up until that point. And talking about the layers that we have and kind of being able to break through or peel those off or whatever that looks like for you as well. And coming home to yourself, like how many things have we learned over the years that is not who we are, but we just conform because we feel like that's what we're supposed to do. And so it's like an unlearning process that happens as well. And I love that your focus on love. And I really, I've always felt that really strongly in my own heart from the time that I was very young, is like an indescribable love, something that I can't really describe it to people. You hear people talk about, I love this, that, or this person or this thing. But it always felt something different than that, a different level, a different understanding, something. And so I really deepened that when I came into contact and knowing with Dorothy Auger, which you guys will hear her poem coming up here, but her poem focuses on love. And that's when I really allowed it to be, at center stage, love to be a center stage or a centerpiece to what I do, because I felt like it was dimmed for so long, before that, because we're supposed to be careful with love. We're supposed to, not give it away. Not like there's just all of these thoughts about it. Was tapping into love something that you had to relearn, or has it always been easy for you to be in that space of love? Talk to me specifically just about love.
Yeah, it was a learning again, because it's really like learning to love yourself again. In that process of like, in a way, pushing my true self away, I also started to judge certain parts of myself or label certain parts. So it's first like this whole journey, especially when a couple of years back, when with my Lyme, I needed to love my body again. I needed to love who I was. I needed to accept every element of my being, because sometimes it's so easy to accept our beauties. But the most important lesson for me back then was like, I needed to accept my shadows as well. Because when it's understanding, when we push a certain part of ourselves away, we don't allow ourselves to fully live. We don't allow ourselves to fully feel, to fully express, to fully be present on this earthly journey. And for me, love, it is everything. It is God, source, infinite oneness. It is all around us, but it is us choosing to tap into it. It's us choosing to, like, you can also see love, like the flower of love lineage, as they step forward. It's always like a nourishing blanket, because it's truly when we feel supported, when we feel nurtured, when we feel seen from within, from around, then we are brave enough to step into our next level. It's almost like this cosmic mother that is holding space and that is saying, you're fine, you will be okay. Because we need that encouragement. And it's not in the words outside of us, but it's really a deep knowing in our hearts, in every cell of our body, like, I have got this, and you have got this, and we can do this. And there is this deep support and this deep compassion and this deep love that is just accessible for every one of us. But it's inviting us to know that we are worthy of it, and to remember ourselves that we are all connected through love, that we are all part of this greater web, and it's not conditioned. And I think that's the thing on this earthly realm, or in this, just in the collective consciousness, like, okay, you need to be better and then you get love, or there are all these conditions placed upon love, but in that it's dimming almost the energy of love. But love is not per se you and another person. There's love all around you. There's love within you. There's like, it's the fabric of who we are, and it's coming back to our pure self in that, and beauty.
Right. I love that. I want to, so I'm going to ask you about the flower of love lineage. And I would love for you to start out by describe it in a way that people who maybe are not super spiritual might understand. Like, let's hear like a kindergarten definition, and then we'll go from there.
I really like the Flower of Love lineage. It's really to help you here with with codes of love, but it's a deep remembering of who you are, to step into your light, in your truth, to be happy again. Because you allowing yourself to be happy again is knowing that you are worthy of it. It starts within. Like sometimes we have all of these limiting beliefs that say, okay, you're not worthy of love, or you will never reach that, or you like all the things we can have in our minds. But it's coming back to, okay, no, you are worthy of love. And when you are worthy of love, it's like, okay, you can handle everything. Notice a moment in your life when you
Yeah.
were in love. Suddenly the whole world looks magical. Maybe like there was always this grumpy colleague on your work, but suddenly when you are in love, you don't mind anymore. Suddenly the grumpy colleague looks beautiful and amazing, and you have jokes together. But it's understanding when we have and we can feel this love within ourselves, the whole world around us changes, our relationship changes, our health changes. Because when we are in love and when we are happy, we are producing other chemical processes in our body that really support our regeneration system and our health energy, and like we are more radiant. And when we're in this vibration, we also attract more of those experiences. Suddenly, like it's when you see someone smile on the street, you feel like, okay, I want to be part of that, because that's contagious. It's like, okay, that's magnetic. And that is understanding when you are co-creating with love, that it creates this ripple effect in every area of your life that is really beautiful. But it's you choosing that you're worthy of this love, that allows this to happen. And it's also understanding what I love in the moment my book, because the Flower of Love, activating the Flower of Love, my book came in. They're bringing this awareness, like you are all of your experiences together. So you have your subconscious field, that is the part where you have your conscious field, that is the part you're aware of. It's almost like 5% in your day you're doing things aware. But the biggest part is the subconscious field, and there are stored all the experiences out of the past, the traumas, but it can also be family lineage energies that are there, collective beliefs that are there, and they're all projecting energies out. And sometimes, like if you know the journey of the law of effect, law of manifestation, and the law of attraction, and you can say, okay, I'm doing my daily affirmations, like I want this, or I am this, or all of those beautiful things, but somehow there isn't anything changing in your reality outside. It might be that in your subconscious layers there are certain energies projecting something out that you're not even aware of. And that is what I love. Like as we step into the space of love, also these layers suddenly feel safe enough to be seen again. And the whole journey of activating the Flower of Love takes you on this journey, like recognizing the patterns that might be in this subconscious layer, so that you can take control back over your life. Because it's all about you and being empowered to create the life you truly desire. And that is having the awareness of all the different things that is part of you, your body, your emotions, the power of your thoughts. Like for me, that was also a big awareness. And I know now there's a lot of understanding about it, but our thoughts are energy. So every thought we're having is creating an energy wave in our bubble that is sending out a frequency into the world. So if we think beautiful things, like if I think about love the whole day, that is the vibration I'm sending out. But if I think fear or judgment or all of that, it's understanding the power it holds. Sometimes we can, like me as well, when I was younger, I thought, okay, it's just a thought. Doesn't matter. But it's not, it's energy. And it is sending a vibration out and attracting experiences into your life. And then it comes to the power of love to notice when you get a certain experience in your life, it's not to hold you back. It's to create a mirror. It's to create the awareness, like, okay, somehow within my field, there is an energy sending out that is attracting these certain experiences. And when we can become aware of that cycle, that is true breakthrough. Because what for me, love really also is like, it's truth. It's coming to this, it's not sugarcoating, it's not making things more beautiful as it is. No, because true love accepts all that you are. True love accepts your shadow and your beauties. And when you can really be in this deep appreciation of everything that you are, then things start to shift. But when you start to judge, like, okay, my shadows, no, they're not beautiful, I'm pushing them away, it will always create this push-pull, and it will always attract energy that you don't want. So for me, it's really about coming back to the truth and really to the acceptance of, okay, life, show me, I'm ready, and I'm empowered from within to witness this mirror with love and compassion, so that I can move on and I can, step and grow.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to so you have your book where you talk about the flower of love lineage and activating the flower of love. And then I don't even know if I told you that I got my cards. Finally, so I was very excited about that.
Yeah.
You have these codes on these cards that you created. And I love this. I just pulled a random one here, and the
Beautiful. Yes.
gratitude. Love that. And each card has these beautiful
Yeah.
images on them for code. I'll just I don't you just look at them for a second. The first time that I saw one, every one that I choose for myself intentionally, not just throwing them around like this, but
Yes.
every one that I choose for myself intentionally, I sort of feel I don't know, like I feel like a tingling over my body. Like I feel like it's just all I had to do was look at it, and I'm like stepping into that energy. What is the purpose? First of all, how did you come up with these? And then what is the purpose for these cards that you created?
I love that. Like, this is a beautiful question, because I think that's also beautiful to share. Like, when I was in my big awakening journey, going through healing with my Lyme, it was really when I unpacked all these layers. When I came to the truth of who I am, it strengthened my connection. And at one point, I got this inspiration of, okay, I need to sit down, and there is an energy that wants to come through me and that wants to express a certain thing. But I didn't know it was becoming a book. But I just took the time to follow this initial inspiration, to follow my sacred yes. And I sat down each day for 2 hours, and I just sat in front of my computer, and I just said, okay, show me whatever you wanted to share. And in 20 hours, the whole book came out, Activating the Flower of Love. And it was really amazing, but it didn't came in like chapter 1, 2, 3. No, it came in like chapter 10 and then chapter 2. And in the end, I understood it was a whole book, but it was by me like going within and really healing parts of myself that suddenly allowed the energy to flow more freely. But when I channeled the book in 2021, I didn't know there was a card deck coming through or a whole lineage. Back then I thought, okay, this is the book. And I just followed the energy, and I just allowed myself, because each time when I go deeper within, there is a beautiful creation coming out. But it is by me being willing to go a deeper within. It is by me being willing to witness all these different elements of me that allows more of my light to shine through. So a couple of years later, I got the inspiration for a card deck, because it's really like the book is so beautiful, but the card deck is really helping you to spiral deeper into certain areas of the book. And the book as well, it's a multidimensional light language transmission. So as you go through the pages of the book, there is like your higher self and your soul are communicating with these love codes that are embedded in that. And that's the same with the cards. So as you look at them, your soul, your cells, your higher self will know what the message is beyond the words. Because also when we're having this conversation, there's so much more happening. There's a whole transmission of energy that is happening through these words, through you tuning in. And what I love about these codes as well, like it's your soul that knows what it needs in that moment. And also in my sessions, I work with light language. But the beautiful thing about that is there's a certain thing that we can break through with knowing and with our minds. But the biggest things are sometimes too painful to go in. The biggest things are sometimes too painful to talk about. And that's the beautiful thing about light language. It just knows how to support you, because your soul and your higher self are guiding you in beautiful ways to go beyond, to crack through, to crack open in a soft, loving way. Because that is what for me, the journey of love is, to really feel safe, to feel supported, to feel nurtured, to go to these wounded parts, and not with hard force or not with pressure, but to just hold space and to say, okay, I see you, I love you, I notice you. And that is what these codes do. It's in a soft, compassionate way, allowing you to go deeper into yourself so that more of your light can awaken. Because yourself, your light is not out there. It's not in being in meditation in higher dimensions. No, that's very beautiful. But we are being invited to take that light with us into our body, into everyday life, when we're doing the groceries, when we're walking on street, when I'm doing the dishes, or it is about embodying that light through our everyday experiences. And that is inviting us to each time go deeper. And that's what, like, it's almost like keys. They help you to go deeper into yourself and yeah, again, what I love as well about a card deck, it's your soul that chooses it. And sometimes you can think, okay, this is too this is too coincident, but it's not. It's understanding that we're constantly every day being guided, but we need to see it as, are we truly ready to again look through the lens of wonder, like a little child, like not taking things for, okay, this is just a random thing. No, it was a message. Or like when you're seeing numbers, or when you see a certain sign in a book that so resonates with your cells, it is following that path. And that was for me for the whole lineage. If I didn't say yes to sitting 2 hours behind my computer, why would I sit 2 hours behind my computer? But I just followed this inner guidance. And then the whole book came out. And through that, by each step, taking each step out of my comfort zone, breaking free from all the limitations, growing and expanding, the lineage came, the card deck, and all the other beautiful things. But yeah, it unfolds as you go and as you,
Yeah. I want to ask you, we have a question coming in. We'll get to that in just a moment, but I wanted to ask you, for the images themselves, for the codes, did you see them? Like, did you see them in your mind? Like, how did you, because when I came up with the images for my cards, I saw them in a dream, and that's how they came to me. And so how did you see those when you created them?
For me, it was really like, again, I felt like sitting behind my computer, and it was intuitively guided how they needed to be placed. And it was just like in one day, the whole images came out, the codes, and in one day, the whole text came out. But it was just, again, like sometimes you get this nudge and you feel like, okay, I need to do this, or this gut feeling. And it's following those, because that again is then we're working with the stream of life. We're allowing the light from within to crack open the shells of this egg, instead of trying to force it and then it's not ready yet. Because that is also like in my being a mom as well, and having my mission and my purpose and my business and all of it. When we're truly in this alignment, things go more quickly than when we try to force. But sometimes it's not happening like for, say, next week. Sometimes it's next year, because then it's the aligned time. But when it then happens, it's this floodgate of energy that just wants to rush through us. But sometimes there are some layers we need to go within to crack open the light that wants to come through. And that love is the key. Like in the old paradigm way, we would be like, okay, I need to work on myself, and I need to sit now, and we need to resolve this problem. No, it is in allowing. So again, it is love holding space for you to allow in the most aligned way your energy to come up, or to go deeper within, but it's in this soft way. And it is truly what I notice in my own journey as well. It is in the softness that we can stand in our life. It is in the being willing to be vulnerable. It is in being willing to be our purest self. That is our strength. It's not in denying our weaknesses. It's not in denying our shadows, because then there's still like almost a weak part of us that can be shaky. No, it is in saying, okay, I see you everywhere of me. I love you. And this is who I am. I am proud of my light and my shadows, and we can step forward in a beautiful way. And out of that, you get beautiful aligned creations. And so I'm really grateful.
I appreciate your description as well, and your commentary regarding what some of us refer to as divine timing, because I feel like so when we get impatient, right, we're like, listen, we what do you mean it's going to go quickly if it's aligned? I prayed for it, I manifested it, it's been 5 years and nothing's happening. But like you said, it has to be the timing has to match up. So once it matches, then that's when the quickness happens. But we get impatient and not waiting for it sometimes, which happens. Ayana asked, are there codes in the meditation?
Yes, the book, the book is full of. I don't know if you mean the meditation in the book but the book is full of meditations, and it has beautiful guided meditations, activations, transmissions you can go through, and there are also recorded ones. So there are many, and I think also below there is a link for the free, the Seeds of Love toolkit, and there is a beautiful morning and evening meditation that really helps you to invite the codes of love in your morning and in your evening. And that for me as well, I notice when I start my day consciously, even if it's a couple of minutes with love, it just transforms my whole life, instead of letting my girls wake me up and then rush into the school day and all of that. So it's really but it's also understanding. That's what I notice in my own journey as well. Sometimes we can have a certain vision, but it's truly the essence that we receive, and that's also what the codes in Activating the Flower of Love help you with. Like when you have a certain vision of what you want to manifest, go and dig deeper. Like, what is the essence, what you're truly wanting to experience? Like, and for example, you want a new car. But for one soul, a new car can be the smell or the newness or being able to pick all the different elements in the car that you want. But so for someone else, it might be safety. Or for someone else, it might be the freedom that you know the car will survive. You're going for a very long ride and because it's new. And it's understanding what it is for you that you truly want to experience with this desire. Because in the end, what you get manifested is the energy, is the essence of your desire. It's not per se what our mind makes of it. Like, and that was also for me, like when I started my podcast, I just got this insight, again, this inspiration to start this podcast. And I followed the initial inspiration. And within a year, there's also a book of my podcast. I could have never imagined when I took that first step that was going to happen. But again, it's following this brave step. I didn't know anything about podcasting and creating. And through, again, trial and error, we learn and we grow and we expand. And when we're willing to do that, supported by love, beautiful things open up. But it's not the things that our mind wants. It's not per se the things that we think we need.
Right.
It is the things that our soul needs that are, and that's different. But then again, can we surrender? Again, the baby coming in its own time. Can we really surrender to, okay, yes, I let it go. Yes.
We're back to that part that we talked about earlier about relinquishing control. I know how some of y'all feel about that. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. Speaking of love, we're going to listen to Dorothy Auger's For Love poem, and we'll be right back to let you all know where you can find Kim, the cards, the activations, the book, all of the things. We'll be right back after this.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to the Breakthrough Show. Thank you for standing for love with us today with our fabulous guest, Kim van de Sande, who is joining us from the Netherlands today. I'm so, listen, anytime I am in your energy, I just feel so uplifted, and I'm so thankful that we've had the opportunity to spend some more time together today. We've got all of Kim's links down in the show notes for you guys, and I'm going to be posting some in the comments as Kim shares with us. What are you working on right now, Kim, and where can everybody find you?
Yes, I'm really excited. I'm just expanding the lineage. So it's really, again, following my heart, and I don't know where it leads, but it's just me following this inner guidance. And it's really beautiful. Like the book, you can find it on every major online and offline bookstore or via my websites. Like I have the floweroflove.love. That was my original. And I'm now building the floweroflove.com because it's really, that's also a whole journey on its own. So it's growing and evolving. But what I love, like when I downloaded the book, when it came through, it was activating the flower of love. And then a couple of months later, the program came, Embodiment, Flower of Love Embodiment. And now it's like a whole lineage. So you start with the seeds of love. It is planting seeds of love. And then you activate the seeds of love with love and beautiful things unfold. But then it's allowing it to embody into your, because it's again coming to this understanding, like it's not only in our mind, but it's really feeling it in every cell of us. So that's a beautiful journey on its own, where I guide people into the beautiful embodiment of these codes. But it's a journey of healing. It's a journey of growth. It's a journey of stepping into your light, into your next level with this foundation of love, because the world is changing so rapidly. So it's almost like before we could maybe grasp on to certain things because they were their truth. But now it's really inviting us to have this centeredness within ourselves, to have this confidence, this resilience within ourselves, to be able to say yes to life, to be able to say yes to the experiences and to feel safe, even though certain things around us are crumbling down. It's like the world is not a certainty anymore in a way that we used to know it. And it's really inviting us to really have this centeredness. And that's what the embodiment codes help. They help you to build this foundation, to just say yes to life, to your next level, to really be happy again. because we need to feel safe to be happy again. We need to feel safe to feel a deep fulfillment and really feel like, okay, I'm ready for whatever is coming. I'm ready to say yes to the greater version of myself. So, and through that, beautiful things unfold. And yeah, it's really this ongoing journey. And the card deck, you can find it via the floweroflove.love website. And there's also an option to pick a card a day. I always love that. I like to, like, I have my cards here, but I also love, like, when I'm on the road, because I like to take it every day. I just go to this page and just see whatever message comes up. So, because that's a beautiful thing. I am reading my book, I think a couple of times a year as well, because each time I reread it, I open Deepening Codes of Love, because that it is like that's what I notice in my journey. It's not again learning new things. No, it's deepening what I already know. And there are beautiful things that are constantly evolving as I evolve. These codes evolve with me. So for me, it's a constant deepening spiral of love and possibilities. And that's what I love again about the card deck, because it shows me, like, okay, which part of the codes of the book am I being invited to embody even more? Because it's this inward journey of
Yeah. I would love for you to finish by choosing a card for us all today, if you would be willing. Yes.
Yes, I would love to. Let's see what the now moment, because there are quite some intense energies, especially this week and with the full moon yesterday.
Yeah.
And yes, we're all being invited to step into our next level, to release what no longer serves and awaken more of our lights. But that is inviting us to do that with love. So the code of today is 22, initiation. Well, that's really typical with also my sharing my journey. So initiation is a powerful process that challenges you to expand beyond what you previously thought was possible. Your journey is a testament to your strength and your courage, and you have everything you need to succeed within you. Trust the process and know that you are being guided every step of the way. Allow yourself to feel the fear and discomfort, but also allow yourself to feel the love and support that surrounds you. This is your time to shine and step into your power. Embrace the journey, embrace the growth, and trust in your own inner wisdom. You are powerful beyond measure, and you have the ability to transform your life. Embrace the transformation and let the flower of love guide you to new heights of success and expansion. So I think it's, I love that, like the whole journey, like an initiation, we're ready. And it's just you feeling safe enough and feeling ready to step into your next level. And this code is really helping. So it's so beautiful how cards always bring a completion to the whole journey. Yeah.
Yes.
Also, work with you. It's that's what I love. I always like to make a picture of the code, and I just put it in the background of my phone, because then it interacts with me the whole day, and I get just this influx of love and in everything I do. So because we need these reminders as well. It's not per se at one point like, okay, now I'm going to do my spiritual work, or because in the end, spiritual work, for me, it's about being happy again. It's about being who you are and loving yourself. But it's not only in this, like, okay, now I schedule an hour and this is like the time. No, let it be in every day of your life. Place beautiful reminders throughout your house, reminding you of your light, or reminding you to think about love, or to think about what you desire, to let yourself dream about the future, about, So give yourself these moments of beautiful light infusions. Yes.
What a beautiful message to end our conversation today, Kim. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you and sharing your light with us. Everybody can visit all of her links that we have down in the show notes for you. You can pick a card. There's a free gift. There's a podcast. There's a book. There's all kinds of gifts for you down there. We're like Oprah today. You get a gift. You get a gift.
And a gift of love. How beautiful is that? Yeah,
that's it.
But also thank you for inviting me and sharing this sacred conversation and sharing your light with the world. So thank you for who you are. Yes, and
happy that we're a part of one another's journeys now. I really appreciate you, Kim. Thank you so much for being here today. All right, you guys, listen, we're going to finish up the show today, and I'm going to share with you a couple of my final thoughts. I hope you guys have taken all of that in and been able to feel the love with us today. And as we wrap up today's enlightening episode, I am deeply moved by Kim's profound insights and her dedication dedication to spreading the message of love and inner wisdom. Kim, thank you so much for sharing your journey and the powerful work you do through the flower of love. Your passion and commitment to helping others awaken their true potential are truly inspiring. For those of you who want to delve deeper into Kim's work, be sure to check out her websites and social media links shared during the episode. And remember, the journey to reconnecting with love and awakening your inner wisdom is a continuous one, just like those breakthroughs. And we're here to help support you in every step of the way. Don't forget to tune in next time for another transformative episode of The Breakthrough Show. We'll be joined by Arlene Gale, who will discuss the nature code and how human nature meets Mother Nature to drive meaningful change. Until then, make every day a great day for a breakthrough. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.